So, 22 years old, I wanted to be a rapper and shit, and so I decided to move from the South Side to like Fullerton and Western, and so I did. And in that, every Tuesday there's an open mic at Sub T, still goes on now. And at that open mic, all the rappers from across the town, they come and they basically, you know, get drunk and try to belittle each other in the best possible form that they can, talk about each other's mothers and, you know, sexual slurs, all types of crazy shit. And so I decided, maybe I should go up there one day and actually, you know, experience it for myself. Now, something that a lot of people don't know, after that, there's also, or there used to be, God rest the soul of the Note, there used to be an open mic right after that, the Note, from like 2 to 4 after Sub T would close, so that, you know, all the drunken rappers would have somewhere where they could go and be more drunk and basically be babysat until their train or their bus started back and then they could go back to their corner of town. And so, I went out, you know, by myself, as I usually do, and even tonight, by myself, as I usually do, and, let's see, stood outside at first, basically because I was broke, and it cost $5 to get into this open mic. So I stood outside, and I talked to 2 different rappers, one who was like a Uber underground backpacker, the other one who was like a surface dweller, goth, rock dude who just, you know, wanted to be at rock and roll, hip hop open mic or whatever. And anybody who knows me knows it's like the split spectrum of, you know, who I am, which is kind of weird. And so I felt like I was talking to like God and the devil, or at least in myself and shit. And then, like, while having this philosophical debate about, you know, what's right and wrong in hip hop, these 2 dudes come busting out of Sub T. One was about a late 20s, early 30s hipster cat, and he obviously was drunk. The other one was this dreaded black man, and he was about to basically whoop his ass. And but luckily his boy was holding him back. And in my head I'm like, wow, I hope this brother really does not like fuck this dude up, because if he does, he's gonna get locked up tonight. And I really don't want to see another black man get locked up. And just as Dave Chappelle has said that every black man over the age of 25 is like paralegal. Just a little sidebar, I was like going to work or coming from an event at work with like a couple of friends, and we were parking next to like Cabrini Green, the projects or whatever, and we were wondering whether or not this parking space was actually a good parking space. And then this like 40-year-old looked like my uncle dude just walked past and was like, "That's illegal." Wow, Dave Chappelle's a fucking genius. So we come back to in front of Sub T. And I'm like, yeah, I hope this dude doesn't get arrested. So his boy is like holding him back, and he's like fucking angry, and dude is like drunk as hell, like, ha ha, you can't do shit, ha ha. What the fuck is... So, I don't know, bad coke, whatever the fuck. And he walks off, and so I'm stood there, and I'm just like, man, this is a crazy ass night to come out of my house. I could have stayed home and like, you know, been off or something. And so, I'm an underground rapper. And so I go across the street to Sub T because I didn't feel like going home. And so in front of Sub T stands this other underground rapper who actually is like probably one of the hardest people to battle. And so I'm going to say a little bit of a rap that I wrote about the night. And if you are a dyslexic, Midwestern battle rhyme fan, then you'll figure out who it is. Otherwise, it'll just sound like some cryptic, crazy shit. Where do I start? Swing into the mood of being rude, play your part. Niggas out here homeless just like shopping carts. Read 5 beans, cause flash taco farts. Wonder why we always wanna be what we aren't. See samurai, niggas show down in the streets. While subterranean white rats start to beef. Then dreaded black man wants to knock out his teeth. So that was the first part of the story. And I walk across the street, and so dude is standing out, and he's like, yeah, it was subliminal, yeah, you know, CD you gave me, it didn't play in my CD player. And so I'm like, all right, dude, whatever. Because I mean, you don't want to get into an argument with this dude. So another rapper that I know comes past, and he has some weed. And also another, back to Dave Chappelle, if anybody knows, if you just like are in public and you have weed, rappers will appear out of nowhere. And so like about 3 other dudes come out, and so me, the rapper who, you know, this whole story is about, and then the other rapper with the weed, so it's about 6 people. We're just standing, we're smoking in front of, you know, the note or whatever, hoping cops or anybody in here. And the hipster comes back out of nowhere. And so he walks into the circle, and so we looking at him like, what the fuck? And they didn't see him, but I saw him, so I knew some crazy shit was about to happen. And he's like, yeah, all you black guys are taking all the white women away. And so all of us are like looking at each other like, all right, what do we do? Like, do we hit him? Do we tell him, oh, poor little hipster, just go that way. And so the rapper who I ended up, you know, writing a song about, who I never ever want to battle, even if I have to one day, just punches him. And so dude falls back on the ground and basically cracks his skull in front of the note. And then the rapper who brought the weed was like, get little, Joe. And dude, yeah, and he just like disappeared, got on the train, and went about his business. And so I looked, and I was like, wow. And then I went inside the note. And you know, from then had like a very crazy night, because I just witnessed this crazy happening, and that is how I got christened into being an underground rapper. Yeah.